Well, welcome to the Prime group call. I am going to first just get started with getting everyone just in attendance with where we're going to be going over. If you don't know, you'll know at the end of the call, we have Serge Pani, and I'll be going and giving him his rundown at the very end. But I hope that this is going to help double our production, as that's the goal. I really want to have Prime Group be a big pillar inside of Marissa's agency. Now we have a cruise coming up. If you didn't know about it, this has been super fun. Tyler and Desi both qualified last year, and I know it's made a big difference to their agency, the people that they got to meet and the things that they got to implement back into their business. Biggest promoter is going to have the biggest business. Remember that even if you're just getting started, like if I was brand new, I would tell people, yeah, man, my business or my company also does cruises. So if you do really well, you get to go on a cruise. And then they're going to want to know about your company and about getting into something that could let them get into a cruise. Because I know at Starbucks, even corporate, they don't have any of those things. They just have your hourly wage and then time that you have off. And so just know what you have your hands on. The biggest promoter is going to have the biggest business. That's all the time. We have YouTube trainings. You have your Prime Group ones. We also have the Inspire ones. Our call recently with Jay Masco was absolutely fire. So definitely want to just pass on what you have. Don't forget that you have not just the office, but a lot of tools in front of you. And so I just want to put those in front of you. And we have just updated a smoother onboarding process. We now kind of created a 1 through 10 step. If you guys look at it, it's the same things that Marissa's using. And so if you guys have any feedback to give me, but now I just want you to see it. A lot of the new agents that are on here have been following these steps. And so if you can see for a new agent, what they really like about it is if I know I'm in step 4, I know I'm looking forward to step 5. And now I might be able to know, okay, let me finish contracting before I talk to Haley, before I talk to Tyler, and so forth. And they know I now have to go shadow people. So maybe I can shadow people as I'm finishing contracting and just hopping into the Zoom call. So that's always really great. And just so you guys know, just get your hands into the Discord and see what's available. Now, this month, we're doing better than last month, just in terms of where we're at. And I think we have some numbers that could be pending because of we usually try to wait till the second month of Thursday, so that the second Thursday of the month, so that way we have accurate numbers. But we still have one more week that hasn't been tracked. And so far we have 98,000 in February, and I can see this going to like 120, 130, which is more than we did last month. And so I'm super pumped about that. And just seeing this double, to be honest. Now, our social media of the month, if you guys want to put in the chat a P in the chat for Pivo, because he's actually on fire with Team All Day. If you don't follow it, you're not reposting him. He's actually going to get you more people buying stuff because he makes it seem like, yo, the community, it's what we do is help people. He's done a really good job. And so I would repost and leverage each other. He's doing really great. Him and Tyler just did an event together and he posted all about it. He even has banners that he's invested into. And so I just am super proud of that. And so P, congrats to you. Now, February by the numbers. Now, remember, I actually don't have the accurate numbers on here, so I almost don't even want to cover it. But right now, where we stand, and I won't cover it because the numbers are not accurate. Where we stand, Desi does have 33 families as number 1 producer for the month, and number 2 is Tyler. Okay, and we'll just kind of leave it at that because that's just what it is right now, and the numbers are not quite settled in. But I wouldn't say it's wrong because Desi's been hustling her butt off, and so I am excited and pumped always for her and her growing agency, and soon a logo, hopefully. And so, but yeah, I just wanted to leave that there. Now to finish off, to help us not just get Desi a logo, get us to double as an agency, we have a lot of new agents. And with that combined with the knowledge that Serge brings on the warm market side, and the power that you have inside of the IULs. He's already worked with some of our agents. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. But Serge, I welcome you to our call. I'm super excited to have you. Now, if you guys don't know, I'll bring it up now. Serge has been Hall of Fame 2 years in a row. And I know his very first year, I'm pretty sure he was full-time working somewhere else. And as he was doing that, then he wasn't just typically buying leads. He then just started helping people with the power of the IUL, and now has created an agency that does the same thing. And from what I've heard, he's now full-time doing what we do to be able to now duplicate all of us His agents are on the call here tonight too, and so I'm excited about that. So that means that we are going to get really good value. I always got to scrape it out of him. But Serge, I welcome you to our call. I just wanted to say I appreciate you coming on. I just want to give you your welcome, and maybe you can start off with your brief story on how those first 2 years were, and just your introduction on how it's been.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Hope everybody's doing well. So my story, I mean, so I mean, I started, let me say, I started this journey sometimes 2017. I think I had my insurance license in 2017, and back then I was working in corporate world. Now for people that don't know, I'm originally an engineer, so I have two masters in engineering. I'm a petroleum engineer by trade, and traveled the world, been to nearly every continent, and working overseas, and moved back, 2015. Got into corporate year with the top 20 company, S&P, and you know, I worked till 2017. I worked till 2019. I retired in 2019, by the way. I got into different stuff. One of them was insurance, and so really, what made me really get into insurance was because I owned an IUL, right? I got an IUL back in the days. I saw 401k was crappy, was crap, and I needed to have something else. I knew something was wrong because I have a minor in finance, and I needed to change something, right? So, 2017, I had my first IUL, and I was like, dude, I need to help my community, right? So one of the reasons why I don't really, I'm not a lead fan, is simply because I always ask myself the question: if I have to change something, is it the people I know or is it the people I don't know? Well, what was the reason why I got into insurance? To change the world, to change something, to have an impact, right? To have an impact in my community, right? So I'm originally from Cameroon, Africa, right? And my community doesn't have any knowledge when it comes to insurance or finance. Zero knowledge. We're hardworking, go to school, PhDs, doctors, MDs, all over everything possible, but we don't know how to invest because they didn't teach us. We are immigrants. So, and I'm like, dude, I need to change something. I need to empower my community, and get in there and change a bunch of lives as much as possible. So that I decided to take that as, as it I decided to run with that. And because of that, I'm like, dude, I mean, why would I want to help somebody I don't know? Why? When I have a bunch of people that I know that I can help, when I have a bunch of people around me that I can help, right? So I want to change lives. I want to transform lives. I want to have an impact. So when I started a business, my goal was to create $1 billion worth of wealth in my community. It's happened already. $1 million policies, $2 million policies, $3 million policies. It's already happened. So my goal is to create $100 billion. Now, $100 billion, I won't do it by myself. So I need to create an empire. So that's what I'm doing right now, right? So the team is big. We're getting bigger. We're going through some rigorous training, serious systems in place. For the last 3 months, we've done more than 200 recruits, right?
Yeah.
So we have some agents that have had 200 recruits. We have like literally by the end of in the next 2 months, we should be at least 500 on my team. Now the goal is to make those 500 people become writing agents, right? So it's a process. I'm sacrificing my pay because I need to train a bunch of people. So
Yeah.
I mostly go after
Right.
business owners right now. So I don't need to dump a bunch of policies. I just need to get like, business owner, one policy, boom, $100,000, and I'm good for the day, right? So
Boom.
that's my goal. And if to achieve that goal, I mean, I need that goal to be able to help other people because with a big team, with a massive team, or with a vision I have, by the end of the year, we should be at least
Right.
1,000 people by the end of this year. Um, I'm going to take a
Right.
hit on my pay. So the
Yeah.
only way I can achieve those Hall of Fame and way beyond the Hall of Fame is by
Big
just
balls.
getting into the business world, the sports world, and whatever. So that's my goal there, and I'm getting into that slowly but surely. Now, that was my journey, helping families, helping
Right.
my community. Now think about it, and I'm going to ask somebody a simple question. Haley, you have your picture of your camera on. I'm gonna ask you the question. So you know IULs, you know insurance, you know how to help lives, how to save lives, how to transform lives. Who's the best person to help first? A lead or somebody in your family?
I sold my mom first, so family.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So who else? Your family is not only your mom. You have your uncles, your aunties, your friends. You have people around you that you can help. Because think about it. Think about it. If you don't help those people out and something happens to them, and you're like, oh my God, had I known, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. So look around you. Those are the people you can help. So the warm market is overrated. When people think about a warm market, they're like, oh my, warm market is just I just know two people. That's it. You surely have you surely have parents. If your parents are alive, hallelujah to that. You surely have uncles and aunties. If they're alive, hallelujah to that. If you don't have a good relationship with them, go create a relationship with them. Do it. Just like you go get your leads done, you have to learn how to call people that you don't know. Why don't you build relationship from within? Why don't you build that relationship within your family? Some people are like, oh, I don't talk to my uncle anymore. Talk to your uncle. That's business. When we talk about business, we don't talk about, oh,
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like leads. But guess what? I did leads. Just because I wanted to test what lead looks like in FFL. When I came into FFL, like, hey, you're all talking about lead, let me try it. I did leads for 2 months. Then I had COVID and I stopped it and I got back into the warm market. Right. So and it was kind of interesting because I was driving like 200 miles in Houston every single day, and I got fed up. I was like, dude, I'm an engineer. I should not be doing this kind of stuff, right? So that is what made me literally pull back out of leads because it was too much for me. And also, as I said, I want to help my community, and I felt like 200 miles a day was too much for me when I could use my time better in a better way.
Yeah.
So now you need to come out of that comfort zone. You need to come out of your comfort zone when it comes to the warm market. Now for you, maybe your comfort zone is what? Is a lead. And I've learned something in life. Every time you get in your comfort zone, that is when you go down. Never be comfortable, ever. In my business, I always try to make sure that, hey, I go to the next step, I try to be uncomfortable. And warm market is not for you might be uncomfortable. For me, it's very comfortable because of my goals and my plans. Right. So now think about it. Who do you know? So now, Haley, I'm going to get back to you. How many people do you have in your family that you've helped? How many people in your family? So just count all the family members you have: parents, siblings, uncles, aunties. I have in my family, from my mother's side, I have about 200 people. Okay,
Yeah, I
African
guess
families are massive.
I haven't even counted how many people because I haven't been thinking about trying to sell them. So maybe I should. I have no clue even.
You see that? Now,
Yeah.
this is a mistake, Holly, because you're thinking about selling.
Mm,
Your mindset is selling. You need to get out of that selling mindset to helping mindset. So when it comes to the warm market, don't think about selling, think about helping. Because if you go to people, if you go to your people to help them, you're going to go with the selling mindset, you're going to go with the lead mindset, and you're going to close, you're going to lose every deal possible. Because people in the warm market only listen to you when they feel like you really genuinely want to help them. And it's a totally different mindset, totally different. I know when you talk about leads, boom, I need to sell one policy, I need to sell one policy. If you bring that mindset into the warm market, failure there, right? So you need to get from the selling to the helping mindset, right? So now let's talk about helping your family. I mean, how can you help someone? Think about it, Haley. You have a family member that has a crappy 401k. And you're like, dude, 90% of Americans retire broke because of 401k. Even the guy that created a 401k hates it. Ted Bennett, he says, hey, if he had to start over again, he's going to start from scratch. He's going to blow up the existing structure and start over. So now this guy hates it. And you know for sure that all the people in your family have the 401k. I'm not saying that you should tell them to stop it because that's not your job. You're not a financial advisor. But you can supplement their 401k. You can use the word, I want to supplement. You can supplement the 401k with something else. Right? And IUL is also not a, like, it's an insurance policy that has a cash value. It's also, it's also supplemental retirement. You can also use it to supplement your retirement. Right? So now you can supplement some people's 401ks. So now think about it. You know this person in your family, 10 members, they all have 401k. And you know for sure that if they have this 401k in the next 20, 30 years, they're going to retire broke. Are you comfortable letting them retire broke? Are you comfortable letting your siblings, are you comfortable letting your uncles and aunties retire broke? Because that's the outcome. It's just like somebody has COVID or somebody has, cancer, and you're a doctor, oh my God. Let's say it's colon cancer that has a very high rate of, death rate. You know, okay, you're just going to count a couple of days, couple of months, and then the person's going to be gone. For a doctor that knows that it can be, you're like, the outcome already. So we're in the financial space. You know the outcome of every single person that doesn't own any product that you have. So now you need to put that thing in your head of, hey, I want to help you. And for you to help them, you need to understand that, hey, what you have and what you know is very powerful, and every single person needs that. We can talk about final expense, we can talk about mortgage protection, we can talk about whole life policies, we can talk about IULs and whatever. It's all, you all need help, right? They all need that in some way to help protect their families. I'm going to give you a story. I'll tell you a story. And I like to talk about it because that's really one of the reasons why I love to do this business. In 2015, I lost my auntie in Houston. And she had breast cancer. Very rich lady. She was a pharmacist. She owned one of the biggest independent pharmacies in Houston. There's one thing she did not get. She did not have proper protection. There's a difference between having insurance and having proper protection. There's a big difference. You can have insurance, but you're not protected because guess what? She had a $75,000 term policy for somebody that, you have a pharmacy, you took a loan to have a pharmacy, you have a massive house, and you have all those assets that you took a loan to own them. You don't own them, it belongs to the bank. You don't own them, right? Because you take a loan. So with all those assets, guess what? She had a $75,000 term policy. When she passed away, the pharmacy was repossessed. The house was repossessed. The cars were repossessed. And we family members had to scramble together to start taking each child into their home. 3 kids. And those 3 kids got lost because of, change in, whatever it is, finance, right? It went from riches to rags. So think about it. Went to the best private schools in Houston, all of them. They had the first son, he had a sports car for Sweet 16, gone. So literally, right? So now she did not get a proper dime number, DIME. A dime tells you how much you need to retire, how much you need for insurance, right? That is what they call DIME. D for dog, I for India, M for mother, and E for earth. Debt, income, mortgage, expenses. She didn't know that. How much debt you have, how much income times 10 years, mortgage, outstanding mortgage, and expenses is burial plus all the expenses, kids' education, all of that. You put all of that together, that's how much insurance you need. Nobody ran that for her. So now think about it. If only somebody told her that, hey, you need to set yourself up with a proper policy, a permanent policy something that you can also use for retirement. Because guess what? She didn't even have something for retirement in the first place. She had an old 401k sitting somewhere, and that was it. Because most business owners don't have 401ks. Most business owners, small business owners don't have pension plans or retirement accounts. So now things happened. And that changed my life completely. Completely. What if somebody told her about this? So do you want to leave your family members go through that? Do you want to let them die before you say, oh my God, had I known? Do you want a parent to retire without any money? I said, oh my God, had I known? Now, I don't know how old a lot of you, my parents are, my dad is 84-year-old. You know, my mom is 81. You know, my dad's turning 85 this year. So the train is gone long time ago. I don't know how old your parents are. A lot of you look young on the call. I'm 45-year-old, by the way. You know, I know how old you are. The younger you are, the younger your parents are too. So, and I'm the youngest of 9. My first brother is about to turn 60-year-old, right? So now think about it. Do you feel like your parents need to know this? Do you feel like your friends need to know this? Do you feel like your network needs to know this? So I said this at a convention. Take out a piece of paper and just write 20 names. Write 20 names on a piece of paper. You can do the exercise right now. Write 20 names of people you feel like you can talk to them like tomorrow. And if you write those 20 names down, that's going to be your network. That's going to be your first clients. As easy as that, that's going to be your first clients. You have to first of all think about those people that are in your inner circle, your friends, family members, the one that are very close to you. People that you can just say, you know what, man, you know what, I want to talk to you right now. Jump on a Zoom. You don't even need to convince them to come on a Zoom. Those are the ones you want to talk to. You know how I saw my sister? She's a doctor. You know, how did I get her? People, you all don't know this. People in the medical field are the least, I mean, they're totally financially illiterate. I don't know why. They're busy making a bunch of money. They don't know how to invest that money. And that's why all the financial advisors are ripping them off. So I told my sister, hey, you know what? Jump on my Zoom right now. I didn't even tell her why I want her on my Zoom. Say, oh, what's up? Say, get on my Zoom right now. I'm going to send the Zoom code. Get on right now. Guess what? She jumped on the Zoom. Boom. Close up her policy. 4 policies, as a matter of fact. So do you have such people that you can say, get on my Zoom? That's your inner circle. Those are the people you want to start with. Start talking to those people. Get on my Zoom. I'm going to talk to you about something. You see? Easy. But now you have what you call people that, you know, you need to kind of convince them to come on the Zoom. Then at that point, you need to learn prospecting. How to prospect people to talk to them, right? To make them want to come on the Zoom. Now, one of the things when it comes to prospecting is don't use the word insurance. A lot of people say, oh, I'm an insurance agent. You're a financial professional. You're an insurance agent. It looks fancy. That's what it is, right? Insurance agent simply looks, it feels like, oh my God, that guy wants to sell me something. You know, but you're a financial professional, right? So when you go into the people that you need to talk to them to get on a Zoom, the first thing you need to do is identify what they need. What I simply do is I get into conversations, I bash 401k, talk about statistics. Hey, most people retire broke. Hey, a lot of Americans don't have a pension plan. Do you have one? I talk about those things. Because guess what? An FIA, fixed index annuity, annuities are pension plans. You see, so I ask those questions in a conversation. I say, hey, by the way, I've learned something really powerful when it comes to finance, something that has changed my life forever. When it comes to money, and I really want you to come and listen because it's going to change your life and that of your family. You know, guess what? I don't talk about IULs. I don't talk about insurance. I just talk about factual stuff. Hey, most people don't have pension plans. Oh my God, the dollar's going to crash. Because the breaks. By the time I retire, there will not going to be Social Security anymore. Do you know that? So what is your plan? Are you doing something about it? You can't depend on Social Security because guess what? It won't be there. I mean, for me, it won't be there. I'm at 45. I'm sure people that are 20 on this call, absolutely not. You don't have Social Security. What are you depending on? You don't have a pension plan. You don't have Social Security. You know, you only have that crappy 401k that can slump with the stock market. So what are you counting on? You see? So you get into conversations with people, make them think, make them get interested in you. They say, you know what? We need to sit down and talk. Because I've learned a bunch of things. As a matter of fact, I've learned life-changing things that I feel like you need to know. I feel like you need to know this because guess what? Whatever is coming ahead is going to be so crazy. We need to talk about this. I need to show you. Let them see the urgency. Let them see that, hey, this stuff is not a joke. But the only way you're going to make them understand that is if you come up with statistics. If you talk about real life, I know you should be informing yourself. You should know a lot about taxes. You should know, see, in this business we do, the more information you have, the higher you're going to go up. I'm telling you that straight up. If you just basic in your language, you will not talk to high net worth individuals. You need to be able to talk about what is happening currently in the world. It's going to open your doors to different conversations. You know, you BRICS. I know about if you all know what BRICS is. I don't know how you know how the US, what the importance of the dollar in the US. Why am I saying that the dollar is going to crash? Because the US uses the dollar value to survive. Every dollar that's used as a transaction out there, the US gets a percentage of that money. Guess what? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and other countries have come together to de-dollarize the world.
Circle.
Can you mute yourself, please, Leanne, please? So if they want to de-dollarize the world, guess what? The US is going to be losing trillions of dollars every single month. What are the two things that the US, where are the two? The US gets money from two main sources, taxes and dollar. That's it. Tax and dollar. So if the dollar, if the dollar is de-dollarized, means that most countries don't use the dollar anymore, means that what? To do the transactions in oil and gas, that's what they used to call petrodollar, for people that have heard petrodollar, because every transaction that was done in the world to buy oil, to sell oil, to buy gold or any commodities, the US gets a cut. So now they're going to take it out. Saudi Arabia has joined the BRICS. They're like, okay, they're not doing business in dollars anymore. The BRICS is coming with a currency that they're going to be using to do business. So what's going to happen next? The US is going to raise taxes. Because if the print, inflation is going to go higher. For now, they can print without having inflation simply because other countries are buying government bonds. Other countries are using the dollar, so it kind of balances out, although the US government is printing money. But when that stops and the US government continues to print the way they're printing, boom, inflation shoots up or the dollar loses value sharply. So those are the kind of information you need to have, because think about it. Let me say Tyler. Let me talk to Tyler now. If I get into a networking event and I give you such an information, will you want to take my number?
You're giving me value and I'm learning things, of course.
Absolutely. So what do I tell you? You're going to be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So that is why information is power, especially in the financial space. The more knowledge you have, I can talk tax like I can talk about taxes like a tax god. I know taxes to the core because I need it. You cannot limit yourself to insurance. No. That's why I can talk to any business owner. How do you think I talk to business owner? Because I talk about tax. We share stuff about taxes. I don't even talk about insurance. And every business owner needs help when it comes to taxes. You see, so in other words, just if you want to go a little bit outside of your comfort zone when it comes to your network, then you need to go beyond insurance. You need to have conversations that'll make people respect your opinions, that'll make people want to get your number, that'll make people want to talk to you. From that standpoint, boom, you start getting numbers from all over the place, right? So warm market is so simple. Just think about all the people around you. You can close anybody. You can go to the doctor's office. I close anybody I want to close. I can go to the doctor's office. I close my doctor. I can go to anywhere. Sometimes I do it for fun. Sometimes I go to the airport. I get on a plane. I see somebody that close you. Just for the sake, you need to practice. Again, you need to get out of your comfort zone if you want to do that, right? So, but for now, you have not even touched your network. You have your friends. You went to high school. You went to college. You went to kindergarten. You went to elementary school. You went to whatever. So you surely have those networks. You have siblings. They have the network. You have your uncles. They have the network. You have your parents. They have the network. If your parents are both 55, you should be selling the hell out of FIAs. Because if they're both 55, most of their friends are both 55, and most of their friends have changed jobs multiple times. So you can get that. You can get those numbers. So that is a warm market. And guess what? In the warm market, one person is always going to give you about 5 numbers, 5 referrals. So it never stops. It never stops. Just a continuous flow of people you can talk to. Just a continuous flow. What I do is when I'm done with a client, I say, hey, how did you like the information? Do you feel like I've added value to your life? And if the answer is yes, hey, in my line of job, I don't charge you anything. I'm just there to help you out. So now, all I need from you is to, if you feel like, now this psychology, if you feel like I was of help to you, I want you to take your phone right now and give me 5 names of people you feel like I can talk to. Take your phone, give me 5 names. I don't ask, I tell you what to do. Because human beings like to be told what to do. From the time you were in kindergarten to all the way you went to college, started working, you're always told what to do. You'll be very surprised. Even the CEO of a company is being told what to do because they have board of directors. The board of directors are being told what to do because you have investors. You can joke, right? So everybody's been told what to do. So that's why I always tell a client, hey, give me numbers. I don't ask you, I tell you. And it always works. But guess what? I first say something that is very crucial. If you feel like I was of help to you, take your phone out and give me numbers. Now, guess what? And he said, like, oh my God, if I don't give this guy a number, it means I didn't like what he told me. Then he gives it to me. So one market is simple. I understand that. I mean, a lot of people are not trained to do one market, and it sounds like they've overrated this stuff when it's nothing. It's so simple. As a matter of fact, I don't see any reason why somebody should buy leads. Sorry to say that. There's no reason. I was not born and raised here. I was absolutely not born and raised here. As a matter of fact, I went to college in Germany because I didn't want to pay tuition. So I speak German too. If you have German in this call, we can speak German, right? So now, if I don't have that extensive network, how much more of you? And if I went to college here, I'm going to talk to every single person I went to school with. I'm going to dig the ground to pull them out. On LinkedIn, everywhere I can find, I'm going to get them out. I'm going to get them from there. Because hey, we went to school together. Alma mater, right? We went to same school. Why not get to those people? Why not pull them out of there? I know one guy from the previous company I came from a previous company, and I'm going to tell you something. This guy, he's a $10 million earner right now. He makes $10 million a year. He started insurance in 2017. And this guy, you know where he got his first $1 million in insurance? LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. He was selling the hell out of IULs from LinkedIn. Was a nurse practitioner. The wife was a PhD in nurse anesthesiology, and then boom, I went on LinkedIn and just started writing engineers, writing all those guys that have big titles. Hey, it's a numbers game. If I send 100 numbers, if I send 100 emails, I just get 2 responses. That's a 50K IUL times, because most of those guys have money. So at least do a $20,000 a year IUL.
Right.
That's what he did. So again, there are many ways you can scan the cat, right? You can scan the cat. Yeah. So skin the cat. So you can literally do whatever you want to do. So you went to school in this country, you have your parent that went to school, you have your uncles and aunts that went to school. Just make use of it. Make use of the network.
Yeah.
Use of the network. That's it.
Huge.
That's it. Just ask. I know if you believe in the Bible, I believe in the Bible. Say, ask, you receive. Seek, you find. Knock on the door, be open unto you. Why don't you ask?
Yeah.
Ask. And it's game over. I think that's taking a lot of time. So go ahead, Tyler. I know you have a bunch of questions, so.
No, that was really great. What I got from that, and I just want to dig a little bit deeper, is because I feel like prospecting, it does take a lot of skill. You have to know how to network yourself by speaking better. As you grow, as people get into this industry, I think you'll learn how to do that. As you go to the gym, you realize, oh man, I didn't used to look at people in the eyes, and now I am. There's a big growth that happens for everybody. Now, Serge, after that, because there's different levels, some people have been here for 3 years and maybe now they have their hands on some people. How do you bag on the 401k? Like when you're talking to someone, so that way, how are we bagging on the 401k? How are you doing it? So that way we can do it professionally and move them in the direction of working with you.
So number one, I don't really go deep into those things when I am prospecting somebody, right? So I talk about it when I'm doing a presentation, but when I'm prospecting, all what I want to do is I want you to be interested in me. I want you to understand that, hey, this guy has something to offer. That's all what is really, that's all that matters. If you know for sure that, hey, and I'm talking about strangers, I'm not talking about my warm market, like warm market, right? Talking about the outer court, like people that I know, that I might know, but I don't know really well. Right. Or I go to I went to a networking event a couple of weeks ago. I came back with 15 numbers, 15.
Yeah.
15 numbers, easy. And now, the first thing again, it's about knowing what the person does. And if you know what the person does, guess what? You can ask some important information. Now, if I see with a child, hey, how's your child doing? How old is the child? And we say, man, college is getting so expensive. College is getting so expensive. And then you have all this inflation going on. Can you imagine that your son or your child, whenever they're ready to go to college, going to pay like 5 times what they pay now? That's how you create the conversations.
Right.
And then I'm going to ask you, do you have any college plan for the child? You see, again, it sounds like direct, but it's a conversation, and then I ask those questions, I will talk.
Right.
You see, so that's the easiest one. If you have any person that has kids, it's easy to close them. You get in through the kids, you close for IULs. You see, so hey, do you have any college plan? No, why not? Why don't you have a college plan? Oh, because it's too expensive. Hey, how about I show you? I know, by the way, I have this beautiful product, this plan that you can set up your child just by investing $100 a month. And when they go to college, they're going to have something small in their account. We need to sit down and talk. Boom. When are you available? That's it. Set up an appointment, get on a Zoom, and close them for IULs.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, so now if they don't have kids, guess what? You just create a conversation, right? Hey, how you doing? All that. And then, you know, so how's work? Oh, I hate my job. I hate my job. Oh, why? Why do you hate your job? What's wrong with your job? Oh, it's stressful. Okay, whatever. You know, so you get into that conversation, and after you're like, okay, oh man, you can talk about retirement at that point. I'm like, dude, you know, I've been reading a lot of stuff. I've been watching news, and they say that Social Security won't be there when I retire. And it's scary. So guess what? I met this guy. So most of the times, if you feel like you cannot even talk, you cannot close the people by yourself, that you're gonna need help. I say I met this guy, that he helped me, and he told me about this beautiful plan that has changed my life forever. Now, guess what? He does free consultation. People like free stuff. Does free consultation, right? I can hook you with him, can sit down with him, and then you guys have a conversation. So in this business, you have to learn how to leverage people. That's the truth about it. You can't do everything by yourself. Leverage is a key and the secret to IUL's business. Now, a lot of people term you can do it yourself, but IULs, you know, if you're going out of that comfort zone, sometimes, you know, you have to leverage somebody else.
Yeah.
But if you want, you can say, hey, guess what? I have my license to help you. You know, I got all that information. I realized there was an issue somewhere. I went and got my license to know what the issue is and how to fix it. And now I know the solution. I'm going to help you out. So there are different ways you can do it. You just have to be very, you know, don't get too, they're going to, oh, what is it?
Yeah.
What is that about? No, don't worry. We're going to talk about it on a Zoom, or we can meet. I can come to your place. We're going to talk about it.
Right.
Never pull the cat out of the bag. Leave it in the bag. Don't talk about it. Don't say, oh, it's an IUL. Why? Because see, we're in the world of Google, we're in the Google world. Have you ever Googled IUL?
Yeah.
It has mixed reviews. Mixed reviews. But why is it that I spoke to one client and he told me how I have IUL. I'm like, dude, what sold you IUL? Fidelity sold me IUL. Do you know Fidelity is sending agents, their personal agents, to sell IULs right now? Guess what he got the IUL from? Work. They came to the job site. They have 1,000 employees, and they held a conference in the conference room. They were selling IULs in there. For real, I was shocked.
Wow. You said what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big, massive. It's a big company. It's an oil company. It's an oil company.
Yeah.
Fidelity sent their agents. Like they have their agents that they're going to sell 401k. They have a branch to sell. They're like, okay, hey, dude, you guys should go to this company and sell IULs. Because they are the company that they're the ones that won the contract to sell 401ks. So they already have access to the company. They send the people there to go sell IULs too. So what does it mean? You know, so
Right.
we just need to wake up because things are changing, looks like. I was very shocked. I never knew that
Yeah.
you know, that they will be doing that right now. They realize that, hey, they're losing business to a bunch of people. They're losing billions of dollars of business, but they have the people already. They have the contacts already. They're like, okay, why not use it if we have it already?
Yeah.
Why not use it? So ask yourself the question, why not use it too?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, go ahead. I know you wanted to ask me something.
Yeah, well, one thing I thought of was for new agents, when, you know, they first hear about it and maybe they start reaching out to you as you've started to train people, what are common rejections or common mistakes that they do? Is it taking the cat out of the bag? Is that the common mistake?
Common mistake for prospecting, yes, that's a common mistake.
Yeah. And what practices?
For prospecting, the common mistake is you're talking about IULs. Because the more you talk about something, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions which you won't be able to answer because you don't really know the plan really well.
Yeah.
And guess what? You will not know IUL as good as, you're going to learn as you go. So you can do all the boot camps you want. There are a lot of questions that can come your way, like multifaceted questions. I can't even answer all the questions. By the way, I see Michael there. Hey, Mike. So he might answer all questions, but I can't answer all the questions. So I know 90% or 95% of answers, but I don't know everything. You see, so you don't want to go too deep because number one, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions which you won't be able to answer. And guess what? If you want to convince somebody to invest $1,000 a month for the next 30 years into the IUL, then you don't want to make a mistake. You don't even want to make as if you don't know the answer to any question they ask. You see, and those questions can come any direction when you're on a Zoom, especially when it comes to warm market. Again, leads is a totally different story. If you want to sell IUL leads, that's a totally different story. But when you get into your warm market, just like because you guys are too close, they can ask you a bunch of questions. You see, so anyway, always make sure, you try to show them value without necessarily talking about what you want to give them.
Yeah. And I also wanted to add for this to you too, Serge, is that you're absolutely right. If, I have a client that told me, hey, I want to do this concept, and I know he has a lot of money and I do it myself. I think one thing that I want all the agents to know is that if I was to do it with a professional, one, I could do it correctly, but two, instead of 500, we might be putting $2,000 a month, and it's a better commission overall, right?
Absolutely.
Because in total, they know that you now know what you're talking about because of the way you talk versus the way I talk. They're going to look at me like $500 a month, Diego versus Serge. They're like, oh, you work with other people that make big investments. This makes perfect sense. And so one thing definitely with Serge is I would definitely reach out to him if you have somebody so you can experience that. You get to hear the dialogue for each scenario is very different. And I know some people that, it sometimes takes a month, 2 months, 3 months to get them, to then finally see the cat out of the bag and they like it. And so I definitely agree with you on that, Serge. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up was for everybody, if you guys had any Q&A, I didn't care for it to go. I just like to cap it at an hour. We also have Michael from North American here who works with Serge, and any questions that we have, Michael will be our go-to guy as well, because Serge is busy running his agency, but Michael is there 24/7. I would almost say this call is sponsored by Michael putting this together and having me reach out. And if you guys have any questions, maybe Michael, if you want to put the North American, maybe your email, there you go. So you guys, I would save that number as you guys go through getting clients and you reach out for dialogue. Michael also has helped Tyler with getting his dialogue right for talking with clients. And there's his phone number there as well. But really quick, I wanted to ask if you guys have any Q&A. I also have more questions, but I wanted to open up for the rest of you guys just to ask Serge. Obviously, the highlights are he's insane at getting the warm market. If you guys have someone in mind, I would say that right now is the best time to ask it. I have a couple last questions for you, Serge. But if you guys want to ask anything, put it in the chat, please. But the last thing, Serge, is, and this is just selfishly, did you do cryptocurrency before?
Yes, I do crypto stocks and options. Absolutely.
And you do that still?
Yeah, I still do that. Yep. That's one of my full-time jobs too. I'm an option trader, a day trader too. Yep.
A day trader do that, build an agency, sell hundreds of thousands of insurance.
Absolutely. That's I day trade 2 hours every single day. Every single day.
Really? And how did you learn that? I was just curious.
Did I in school?
Okay. Out in Germany?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
So,
well, Serge, I appreciate.
But at the end of the day, you need to school is different from going to the stock market, right? So you make a bunch of mistakes, you learn from that, and then of course I had some mentors that helped me out long term. So yeah, so that's one of the things I do that I love to do. And I always say this: every single insurance agent they have to know how to trade, because at least it can take you through the storms, right?
And would you say knowing that has allowed you to have better conversations, knowing how to do the trading and seeing how the market reacts to certain things? It probably helps you with the conversation a little bit.
A little bit, but really what helps me in conversations is just being very, I read a lot. You need to educate yourself all the time. You need to be curious, ask a bunch of questions, and just having just the fact that you know a bunch of things makes you get into conversations with people at different levels, right? So I can be an accountant, we're going to talk about taxes, and they won't even know that I'm not an accountant. So
Yeah.
because I read a bunch of tax books, bunch of them, because I needed to go to the next level. I'm a perfectionist, by the way. The kind of guy that I want to make sure that everything I do, I'm the best. And that's why in corporate world, I was good. So, right. So I try to be the best in everything I do. So, and when I got into insurance, I say, hey, I'm leaving a beautiful job to get into finance. And if I have to do it, I have to know the ins and out, and I need to be the best in what I do. So, and to be the best, it comes with a lot of work, a lot of education, a lot of reading, a lot of mentorship. I still have mentors. Everybody should have a mentor. Everybody should have a mentor, by the way. Everybody.
Yeah.
If you have a mentor, what you do, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Or you won't go to the next level where you need to go to, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely great because Serge, I think that is true. Everyone comes from a different place, and no matter where you get to, you don't want to plateau because you're just going to go backwards is how I've seen it, because you get complacent. But even if you're still the competition, we're in a business where it's business. People are competing. They're going to make a bigger business than you. And eventually you're going to start going down because they're marketing more and doing better than you. Tyler in the chat did say, what is the ideal IUL client and why?
Ideal IUL client. I don't really have an ideal IUL client. My ideal IUL client is just based on my circumstance. As I said, I'm building crazy right now, and I don't have time to be doing, $100 policies, so I'd rather get big policies that I can focus on building and helping my team.
So for you, the ideal policy is right now a big $100,000 policy.
50K and above, yeah.
Yeah. And now for your agents, are you having them target warm market? Anyone's ideal. It doesn't matter the kind.
Yeah, anyone. Yeah, 100%. My agents, they all target 100 warm market. Now some want to do leads. They do the leads, they do IUL leads, but it's mostly warm market.
And now, Serge, just to end it, I mean, I want to cut it off here. If anybody wanted to have a client, they have someone in mind, maybe an uncle or cousin, and they know they have a big business, but they don't feel like they could maybe help them like you could, and they want to do it together. It's a 50% split, right?
Yeah, 50% split. That's correct.
And you'll do all of it. You'll get on the Zoom call. You'll do the app. How would they get a hold of you to do that? If I have a client here that wants to do a plan and have,
they can they can get my email. They can, my email is, they can get my email, write me, send me an email. And if I can't, I'm gonna put you in touch with one of my top agents, because I have a massive team and I help people a lot. I just came out of a lock-in with a bunch of my next wave leaders, and we're 3 days in Houston, locked in somewhere, training. So it's, I don't have a lot of time, but if you have something, if you want me to help out, let me know. I have a bunch of agents that close top IULs. Worst case, I'm going to refer you to them if I don't have time, and if I have time, I'm going to help you out.
Right. Well, no, that's perfect, Serge. And I really appreciate it. I think we got a lot of value on this call. This should hopefully replicate a lot of IUL warm market sales. Just wake up. That's what I love about you. I feel like it just makes me go, let me look around. We're in a system sometimes. Yeah.
I know, right?
Leads so much. Well, I appreciate you, Serge. If you ever need anything from me, just give me a call. You got my number. Guys, appreciate everyone's time. You guys go take care. Anything you need from me, I'll be here. Talk to you guys soon. Serge, again, appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.